It's always a good show. Oh, wait.
Otherworldlyculture.com.
Happy birthday, Swobat.com. An umpire and a vampire. Ha ha ha. Square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. You're out! This week's movie is the 1993 Sandlot and the 1987 Hellraiser. Starring Doug Bradley, Patrick, Renna, Marley Shelton, Oliver Smith, Tom Geary, and Jimmy Jones, a.k.a. Darth Vader's voice. Now, two guys that know that taking on this podcast is a lot like riding a horse. If you're comfortable with it, I don't even know. If you're comfortable doing it, you're probably doing it wrong. Tim and Jeff, season 8, final inning,
Final inning.
You know what? That was a very good Tim and Jeff. But I just got caught up in the pageantry of the final one. Yeah.
We're emotional.
We are.
You know.
And it's Swobat's birthday.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody, he's Jeff Miller.
I am.
He's the umpire. He once took a puck to the beans. He skated away quietly and said "pussy" as he left a blood spot on the ice.
Tim.
That's a true story.
It's not, because I did not have a kitty cat out there with me.
Jeff is our sports aficionado.
Absolutely.
And he assigns me sports movies because he's filled with hate and anger.
What?
Why do you always interrupt me?
Why is hate and anger in the same sentence?
It just is.
Oh no, that is. It's two same things.
Yeah, they are different.
I thought you said happy and anger, but you didn't. They both start with HA though.
Hanger.
Oh no, go ahead.
A hanger is what you use in the closet. Anyway, I'm the vamp. I'm a horror movie fan, so I give him lovely family films this week's entry to watch. And what I gave him this week is a humdinger. Hellraiser is on the path here tonight. And Jeff,
I gave you a coming-of-age movie, Sandlot.
Baseball,
swimming, all good stuff.
Yeah, and most of all, we do want to thank all the folks that are in the chat room tonight. A special shout out to Swobat. Happy birthday. Today is her birthday. And tomorrow we are taking our mother out to eat. But we'll let her catch the bill.
Tim, how great is that to have your birthday on one of our shows?
You know what? She said it's a special celebration of awesome.
Think about that.
That she will get to do now.
She gets to listen to you and me, her son and her favorite non-son.
Yeah. Nonsense, did you say?
Non-son.
Non-son. Okay.
Oh, that almost sounds like nonsense, but it's non-son.
Yeah, wow.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
So you see this right here?
See what?
See what I got here?
Yeah, it's a silver stone.
This is my first drink with my right hand. All right, let's get rocking and rolling.
What is going on? There's something going on, Jeff.
Yep.
And we're going to get to the bottom of it. I believe we made some psychological scars on you.
Yes, with this show this week, absolutely.
Oh, by the way, Jeff.
Yeah.
My brother has offered to take all the mice from his yard and put it right in your shed for you.
All the what?
All the mice.
No.
Bring them over.
No.
Put them in your shed.
No.
So they can be safe.
No, here's the thing. Here, I want to tell a quick mice story.
I'm just telling you this.
Can I tell a quick mouse story?
Oh, of course, Jeff.
When my wife and I bought this house back in 2020, the shed was out there, right? So I go out there, right, and I look in the shed, and the guy who left the house, he left all of his crap in there, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want any of this stuff. So I'm in there, I'm looking around. All of a sudden, I lifted up all these mats, and there was like a whole family of mice in there. I put the mat back down. I'm like, all right. I just left it. I said, hey, you gotta come pick up your stuff. So he came, picked it up, and took the mice with him. I don't know. That's not even a story. It's better in my head.
Yeah.
It sounds so much more fun in my head.
I honestly, Jeff, I think that's kind of a theme for you. Because it sounded better in my head. I think that's a new podcast we might do.
I've got a party going on the whole time, man. I'm just telling you.
Let me tell you something, Jeff. We're about to kick things off in our last inning of season 8.
It's kind of difficult.
Who can believe we're at season 8?
Well,
we haven't killed each other yet.
We haven't. But here's the thing.
That's a disappointment for me too.
But here's the thing, Tim. I'd be so much look at Jeff at otherworldlyculture.com. Yeah, I answer all your emails. You send them in to me. I send them to you. I send you a gift. So just write to me. Anyways.
The gift of Jeff.
Exactly.
The gift of Jeff.
But here's the thing about the show.
All right.
Why don't you should just put up the score right now.
No.
Because here's the thing. I already know that.
Suspense.
I already know that this thing right here.
There it is.
I will not be drinking.
Loving cup.
I will not be drinking out of this for the next 3 or 4 months because this will be here. But you know what? I put on
safe and sound where it belongs.
It was just a rough year for me, but we'll talk about that at the end.
I have some analysis of that, by the way. We're going to do some statistics, so we got to keep things going.
No, we don't.
So far,
this is a 2-hour show tonight, people.
It is not. It is not.
It's brought to you by the local in Muskego.
It is not.
Who just got their...
They don't give us any money, Jeff.
They just got their parking lot repaved.
They don't even... They actually have a picture of Jeff on the door. It says, do not allow admittance to this malcontent.
They love me over there.
They don't know who you are,
all right,
Jeff.
So,
I go in there. Everybody's like, who's Jeff?
No.
That's a fact.
It's not a fact.
Okay, Jeff, why don't you start... your Hellraiser review. I'm going to steal his thunder. It's 1 hour and...
You can do it if you want.
No, I'm not going to.
That's okay. This movie, Hellraiser, came out in 1987. So basically, I just graduated from high school in 1986. Tim was going to graduate in 1987. So this is like Tim's graduation movie. All right? Well, in a way, because it came out the same year you graduated. But back to the movie. So it's rated R, which means restricted. You have to be 18 or older to watch it. And then it's 1 hour and 34 minutes long. And it's...
Of course.
It's got to... Well, no.
There were people sitting there going, gosh, I hope Jeff just reads statistics off the top of the IMDb page.
Now, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Usually I'm like, 1 hour and 30-some minutes. That's a perfect, wheelhouse. It's perfect. And honestly, with this one, thank God it's only that long. Because this movie was very... Oh my God, I don't even know what to tell you. So this is the first part of this movie that I did not appreciate. So you see this cover here? No one sees it. Yeah, you can see it on the screen. Okay, so in my mind, if I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking, this guy's going to be around in this whole movie. He's going to be whipping around.
I knew this was going to be
He's going to be whipping around, sticking people with his pins in his head. He's going to be headbutting people, whatever. This guy is in like 0.5% of this whole movie. All right, and he's the main dude.
I knew this was coming.
He's the main dude. What's his name? Hellraiser. What's his name?
He doesn't actually have a name,
he supposed to
but
be?
Everybody calls him Pinhead.
Oh yeah, well, duh. Okay, Pinhead. All right, so he's Pinhead.
Why are you saying duh?
Well, it makes sense now that I think about it. It's Pinhead. Okay, I get that. All right, so Pinhead is in here 0.5%, which was a little disturbing. Well, it's
disturbing. Okay.
But yes, but you know what?
You watched this movie, and that was the disturbing.
No.
No, I just want to make sure
that was
I understand.
The disappointment of the movie.
Oh.
There was a lot of disturbing stuff in here. This is a very difficult movie to watch. This is the movie for me when I watched it. I really didn't know what was going on, and I got confused. But then, as the movie went on, I figured it out. But then I got confused again, and then I figured out some more. But here's the thing. These people that hang out with Pinhead, some of those guys are just, oh my God. That one other guy with the little things that went across like this, that guy was wicked looking. I had to close my eyes. I couldn't even recognize that guy. And then the one like blob guy, the guy who was like Jabba the Hutt.
With the sunglasses?
You know who he looked like?
Who?
Brian from Laser 103. Brian Nelson. I thought of Brian Nelson when I saw that. I did. For just some odd reason, I did. So we had this, and what do they call it? Ignonites or something? What were they?
Cenobites.
Cenobites. Sounds like something you could eat. You know, like Cinnabon? Or
I wouldn't try it.
I know. But that one guy sticks his fingers in her mouth, and it's just like, that's just gross. But all right, so back to this movie. So here's the confusing part. So you know what? I'm going to tell some of this stuff and I'm talking fast. I know that. So I'm going to slow it down.
No, feel free to talk fast.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a few things. This is directed and written by Clive Barke. But it's written by Clive Barke, but he's uncredited for this. In this 1 hour and... 1 hour and 34-minute movie. So here's the thing, though, Tim. All right. So when you're watching this movie, you may be confused because so when I was watching this, Tim, and I don't want to give any spoilers, so I'm gonna try my best not to, because I still think people should watch it, but really don't. So here's the thing. So what's her name?
Hold on. I really think people should watch it, but don't.
Right. So
okay, I got
Julia, the cheating wife. Okay. So the cheating wife. Now I don't know. Like, so they show her cheating. They show her getting it on, and it's kind of intense. But here's the thing. I don't know if she's like the Frank guy, if he's like in her. Guy. So I got a lot of vibes off of this. So the couple vibes I got, one of the vibes is Nightmare on Elm Street. I wondered if like she was imagining herself getting physical with this guy. But then when you watch the movie,
that was in the past,
right? But I didn't know that because they didn't make it like for Jeff to watch. They made it for like a person that would think.
They should have had somebody come out and say, "Now, Jeff, here's what's about to happen. We're going back in time."
But they didn't make it. They didn't make it look
like.
They
didn't put a scoreboard out there.
They didn't make it look like a memory. They kind of made it seem like the guy was like getting, because I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, so I thought this dude got in her head and made her think this was happening. But eventually, I figured it out. So it had undertones of Nightmare on Elm Street for me.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot of undertones of The Mummy. And why I say that, Tim, and you'll know when I say this.
Which version of The Mummy?
The one with Brandon Fraser.
Okay.
So, because...
There's your fave.
Yeah, I don't like that. That was wicked.
Okay.
So the way that I attached this to Nightmare on Elm Street, I just told you I thought it was like in her head, whatever.
Okay.
The way I tie it into The Mummy is because in The Mummy, if you remember this, The Mummy needed all those different like things to open up so that it could become whole. In this movie, Frank needed blood, and he needed to accumulate all these other blood from these other people to become whole. So do you see where I come with that?
Yep.
I also got, Tim, then I got the whole collector vibe. And you know how I got that, don't you?
The collector.
The collector vibe. You know how I got that, don't you?
No.
Oh, what about all the fish hooks?
You like fish
no,
hooks?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, roll back the tape.
Yes.
He told us how much he liked fishing with that Rock Hudson movie a long time
That is not
back,
even close.
And I thought of, you know what movie he'd like? A nice fishing movie. And I find Jaws for him, and I find this one. It's like I'm giving some nice fishing movies.
Jaws was fine
every season,
but this has fish hooks, and this was gross. And I didn't.
Why was it gross?
Because it's like pulling up. It's pulling up people's faces and all that. It was just, if you saw the collector and
Good
you saw the
family fun.
And I wonder,
a fishing trip.
And I wonder if collector like stole some of this stuff. So anyway, so you have Nightmare on Elm Street. You have The Mummy. Another movie, another type of supernatural thing that this made me think of.
And was, apparently Rock Hudson fishing movies.
No.
Okay.
Stranger Things. I got a big Stranger Things feel out of this too. In the scene where Christy, the daughter, has got all these feathers floating around her. It's like she was in a dream stage where she had to go into the hallway and come back out. So I got Stranger Things feel out of this.
I think of American Beauty in that scene. I got to be honest. I think Stranger Things I would more do with the scenes where they have the chains down and there's like little glitter falling.
That too.
That feels a lot like the Upside Down. That's what I thought of when you said Stranger Things.
Yep.
But somehow you became more Stranger than the Stranger Things.
Then
oh boy, here it comes.
I got a Men in Black feel. Now I can't give you guys too much about.
Okay, if you say it's just because Pinhead was wearing black.
Nope.
I'm going to ban you from the show.
Nope.
Okay.
But I can't say it because if I say it, I spoil it. So I can't say why. You know why, right?
No.
Can I say why?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a spoiler alert over the next 1 minute. Okay. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Okay.
50-year-old movie.
I know, hey? I know. So I got the Men in Black feel when Frank took over Larry's body, because it was sort of like he was inside another body. It was sort of, that's how the feel I got.
Okay.
I wanted to say,
I'll give him that. I
wanted to say Face Off, but I got more of a Men in Black feel.
Okay. I'll give you that one.
All right. So
I'll give you that one. I did not think of that.
See what I bring to the table, people? I get a lot of flack, but I bring stuff to the table.
We all wonder.
All right.
I get a lot of emails.
So I want to say about a few
from all the people at the local that say, "Can you get Jeff to stop talking about us?"
So I have a couple more things I want to bring up about this.
And I respond no.
And I hope that I can read my writing, but here's the deal.
We all hope that.
I think that the Julia person, if you did a modern...
Julia person?
Yeah, okay. Played by Claire Higgins. If you were to rewrite this now and this was to come out... if this is going to come out... And this movie is only an hour and 34 minutes long. But if you were to rewrite this now and it came out, or like not now because she's kind of older now, but I would say if you wrote this like 20 years ago, I would have Kim Cattrall playing her. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see Britney Spears playing Christy. Right, because she looked like her.
Britney Spears.
Yep. And I could see John Cusack playing Christy's boyfriend. Because that's the vibe. Right. The vibe I got from those people. And then I got something in here that says First Vietnam, why? I don't know what that is about. And then Frank before or in her head. I don't even know. But whatever. So those are notes that I took during the movie. So here's the thing.
Okay, now I do have to ask you.
Yeah.
Because
I watched the whole thing.
This is a pretty disgusting film.
Yes.
Were you scared or disgusted or just thinking, I don't know what's going on? What was your overall feel?
Tim, you're going to hate my aunt.
Everybody will. I got a lot of emails, people asking me where your head is at. So I have to ask.
Tim, you're gonna hate this answer because it's a very, I don't know.
Jeff,
whatever.
Answer.
Here's the thing. I was confused. But once I figured out the confusion, I was fine. Because that whole like flashback thing, I thought...
It does take a while to explain what the hell it's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
As far as disgusted, and I know I'm going to sound very weak on this, but there's points where I had to just like look down or whatever because there was some really gross, disgusting things. I couldn't watch it. Right. I really couldn't. I'm kind of...
Do you know where I saw this movie the first time?
Probably Budget.
Yep.
Because we were talking about budget.
Budget cinemas. And I will tell you, when I saw it the first time, the fishhook thing, I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I was like, this is so wrong. And I had a similar response about Pinhead because all the promos of it is Pinhead, and I'm like, he's hardly in it.
Right.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I believe you could still make this a horror movie without Pinhead or the Cenobites or anything.
Yes.
And I think it's a better movie.
Yes. Yes, it is a far better movie.
It's kind of like a ghost story, really.
Because
Which we know you love ghosts.
Well, ghosts would be fine as long as it's not like devil ghosts. But here's the thing. But you're right, Tim. You have this guy.
Well, that was never indicated.
I know, but you have this guy getting created because of blood and whatever. Yeah. And that's the horror part because she's bringing people there to get killed.
Right.
You don't need Hellraiser.
It's basically a Twilight Zone episode.
Yep.
It is. Yeah.
You don't need Pinhead and his people. You don't need it because it doesn't fit in the movie. It really doesn't. As far as the gross stuff, I think Clive Barke like went over the top. I think he really tried to gross you out with like naked.
Well, this was a provocateur movie. He was trying to get a reaction out of people.
Yeah, and the reaction was vomit. But as far as being scared, I'll tell you what.
What did you eat before seeing this?
I didn't eat anything.
Okay, did Tango protect you?
Tango was
at any point.
Tango was on my lap. He was watching the movie. He was fine.
He was protecting you.
Yes, but here's the thing, though. As far as being scared, I wasn't scared at all. Because
really?
I wasn't.
You're just grossed out.
I was more grossed out.
Okay.
I was confused and grossed out. I wasn't scared. Not one point was I scared.
Rewatching this, I kind of was like, I don't know that it's all that scary. It's gross as hell.
It's gross. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Way up on the gross
100%.
scale. Here, I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
Ashley Lawrence, we were seated next to her at a convention. Did I ever tell you this?
No, but I want to hear it.
Okay, Ashley, I know you want to hear it because it's coming from me.
She played the daughter, Christy.
She is a beautiful, nice person to this day. She is probably one of the nicest celebrities. She actually engaged with us, and we're a pretty wild bunch over at our table, and it's gotten wilder since you're there. But where's Ted Savini? But
his name is Tom.
Okay, good. But she was so nice, so polite. She was always smiling there for the. So if you are a fan of this movie, and I don't know, there's a lot of people that are fans of this movie. I'm not particularly one of them, but she is definitely worth meeting. Definitely worth meeting. She is so nice.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
When people say, the Mount Rushmore of horror, some people put Pinhead on there. Why? I mean, there are some people that say Pinhead should be on the Mount Rushmore.
Some people wear bibs when they eat.
Well, when you go to a lobster place, you do. But anyways. So Hellraiser.
Let's get to a grade.
Well, no, before we do that.
Yeah.
So there's Hellraiser. How many Hellraisers are there?
There's like 85 of them, and I'm being a little facetious. I think there's like 10 in the original series.
Really?
And then they rebooted it once or twice. I know there was one, I think, in 2021, and it got a lot of people mad because they didn't bring Doug Bradley in, and Doug Bradley had played Pinhead.
That? Oh.
He's the guy that played Pinhead for most of the movies, and then they didn't go with him, and he was whining. And it's like, Doug, you don't say no at these movies, and a lot of them are horrible. Yeah, at some point they're going to walk away from you, pal.
So, So that's probably why they put him on the Mount Rushmore, because there's so many of them.
And he, by the way, I wouldn't get as excited getting in his line. He's a little prickly.
Really?
But he is, he's British, But
popping a moan into you.
He's
shrimp on a Barbie.
Let me put it this way: he's okay with fans, but he, particularly in panels, comes off a little bitter, and it's like, dude, this is the role that everybody knows you from. Otherwise, people don't know who you are. So I think he did Shakespeare and stuff, and he's kind of like, I am an actor, and I'm known for being a pincushion. Yeah.
I also think that the acting in this was you could tell it was very 87. It was very it wasn't.
There I kind of disagree. I actually think the acting is pretty good in this movie. Well, and they got some good actors in it.
They do, but...
You know what it's time for?
You want a grade?
No, it's probably short time.
All right.
You ready? How close do you think I got this?
Look at how you turned me. Look how you just changed this.
Look how close.
In the same movie. You got him in the same movie.
How close?
You got him in the same movie. One movie. You're going to connect them. Boom, boom. Watch this. Because you set it up. Let's see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see it too. There it goes. We took Ashley Lawrence.
Oh,
we connected her to William Catt. You remember the Greatest American Hero?
Mm-mm.
Okay, he was also in Carrie. We'll get that over to you, buddy. But William Catt, I really like him. He was also in the movie House. We connected to him, and William Catt is directly with Pauly Shore in a film. So,
what show?
Wedding Band. I had never heard of this.
Never. I haven't either.
Who knew? It took, I will tell you this. This one took a while.
Really?
This one took a while. I was like, okay, this one's pretty cool. Here's the thing. When I do these, I got a database and all this stuff that it connects it up. So it isn't like I'm doing this on my own.
Tim's very smart.
But that's true. But I try to find an interesting route to Pauly Shore.
I like that.
I'm not going to pick like Stuntman number 3 and try to connect. That's just not fun, right?
No.
So sometimes I'm going through 30, 40, 50 of these until I get one that I like.
I'm waiting for the one where the person in the movie was actually in a Pauly Shore movie. That's what I'm waiting for.
I'm working on it.
But here's the thing, though. So I'm
working on it.
I'm actually impressed on how many movies Pauly Shore's been in.
When I started this, I thought we were going to find anything. I really did. I was like, they're going to be like 85 steps. And when we connected Lon Chaney and
Yeah.
2 movies, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Is Ashley Lawrence doing stuff now, or is
She
done?
She
what
is
else was
going to. She is going to conventions. I don't know that she's doing a whole lot more.
Okay.
She has had a pretty bad accident that occurred to her.
Okay. Oops.
That when you're in convention halls, you cannot take flash photography with her because there's some sort of iris thing that happened. So I'm serious.
I believe you.
So if you go to see her and you want a photograph, you have to prove to her that you don't have the flash on because it literally could get her blind. So I have a feeling that also is going to affect you being a movie star with lights in your face. You don't need to raise your hand unless you're going to the bathroom.
I'm not, but listen to this. So I don't want to, I hate when people do this.
Whoops, wrong button.
I hate when people do this to make it about them, but I do have a situation where someone didn't want their picture taken.
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks. So when I worked at Laser and I was out at Grammy Week, we were told before she walked into the building, we were in this big.
Oh, they did one of the star things.
Yep.
You will not take her picture.
Right. We were in the studio where they shot Flintstones. Right. We were in the studio with Flintstones thing, and I was up on top there. I was next to Dallas and Minnesota and all
People
that.
do not remember that movie
No.
Yeah.
Donnie Bonaducci was doing radio below me and all this.
Danny Bonaducci, right?
Is that what I said?
I think you said Donnie.
Danny starts with a D, whatever.
Okay.
So she comes in, they're like, don't take any pictures. So then after, I'm like, all right, because I took my picture with everybody I was with because
to prove that you were there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And that was before all this cell phone crap and all that.
Yeah.
But it's because she had gained so much weight. She was a big girl then, and she was not happy with the way she looked. She still looked great, but she was not happy with her figure, so that she told everybody, no one's taking pictures. Whoops. No one's taking pictures. So
all right.
That's my don't take pictures story.
It's score time. And people make your guesses. What is Jeff going to be? I'm thinking an 8 or a 9.
Okay, so here's the thing. So usually something around the 1 hour and 30-minute mark is good for Jeff. Sometimes there's things about if there's a little bit of
1 hour and 30 minutes.
A little flesh going
comes
on.
up in the grade.
That helps out. If there's a story, that helps out.
Yeah.
But there wasn't enough of any of that to get this a good score for me.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, it's a 2.
Okay. I kind of was expecting this number.
It's a 2.
Actually, it's about 1 higher than I expected.
Really?
So
damn, I could give it a 1.
Yeah, well, you can always give them 1.
No, I think a 2 is fair. It's still something you should see, but I would put it high on my list.
We didn't. We put it in.
Why would you put it
season 8?
You should have put it like inning 1 and get out of the way. This would not be a good anchor.
You would never have continued the show.
Could you imagine if it came down to this week and you put this in there? Tim, think about those things. All right.
All right, Jeff. I'm taking lots of notes from how you're playing the game.
So don't. If you're gonna take a deuce, take it on Hellraiser.
That's good.
I know.
Hey, it's time for our break. Jeff's favorite part of the show and everybody else's least. This is Otherworldly Culture Sports.
You just kill me. Come on. Wow.
This is good stuff.
No, it's not. People are gonna start believing you.
Top notch. You're gonna get.
So what's gonna be coming out soon, people, is that Jeff's gonna have his own sports show, and Tim's probably gonna be producing it. So you're gonna have to wanna get in on the ground floor on that.
We are working on that.
Sports. I'm Jeff Miller.
And this is the sports. I gotta tell you about these sports stuff.
I'm Jeff Miller, and this is the sports that I know. The Brewers remain in first place.
Hold on. That's baseball.
Yep. The Brewers remain in first place in the National League Central, 6.5 games over the second place St. Louis Cardinals. Where is Craig Counsell and the rest of the Cubs? In fourth place, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Pat Murphy and the crew host the third place Reds this weekend at AmFam Field. The Yankees hold the best record in baseball at 49-22. Other division leaders, the Cleveland, let's call them Cleveland. I want to say Cleveland Indians, but the Cleveland Guardians, whatever. So Cleveland, Seattle, Philly, and the Dodgers are all in first place in their divisions, along with the Yankees and your very own Milwaukee Brewers. Boston is just one win away from their 18th NBA title. They're up 3-0 after last night's 106-99 victory over the Dallas Mavericks. The Florida Panthers will try to increase their championship series lead to 3-0 tonight when they take on Edmonton. And the 124th U.S. Open is underway at Pinehurst number 2. That's it. I'm Jeff Miller, and that's the sports that I know.
So you've changed now to that's it.
That's it. Oh, what happened to my...
I love Merch Madness.
We're getting new merch. We love Mike's
Let's make
mom.
the merch money.
It's good stuff.
It is.
Hey, guess what's going to be on this week's special event?
Let's make some merch money.
You still have that audio, damn.
Forever.
It's gold. Ooh,
Who's going to be the one that's sponsored this week?
tonight?
Yeah.
The local.
It's a big one.
Open up mosquito style.
No, it's another failing business.
Stop. Red Lobster. We should get lobster.
Home of bibs.
We should get lobster on ours.
Oh my God.
Could you? Because Tim, when was the last time you were at Red Lobster?
I never really went too often, so I'm a bad one to ask that.
I think the last time I was there was a couple years ago.
Hey, folks. Go ahead.
I love Red Lobster, but they doesn't love us. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, I was wrong last week with the dates.
I don't like
Horror
those.
Realm is February 28th through March 2nd, which means we're a full week earlier than I thought, which cuts us down to 259 days. You're going to have to push up some of the delivery dates on your merch.
I am, and I kind of like the last week's dates better. I'm not really digging the 28th date. I'm not.
Well, you'll survive. And this year,
Count Chocula.
we have
Frankenberry.
a number of guests to announce.
Ooh, Barry. Godzilla.
No, we don't have
Who's
guest
that?
announcements. That's King Kong.
Oh, Wolfman.
Who's that? He's too small.
Count
Jeff
Chocula.
couldn't see him.
Ha 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 ha.
All right.
Wait.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be the end of February and the beginning of March.
Correct. It's the first weekend of March, which it usually is, except this time it used to always be the first full weekend. This time it's going to be February 28th. There's reasons, and I don't know what they are, but I'm guessing it has something to do with getting a really cool guest.
Are we flying?
Really cool. We're not flying.
We're taking a Jeep, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
It's going to be the Jeep, yes.
Hell yeah.
All right, folks. It's time for me to tell you about that stink turd I had this week.
Really?
And
That's being over the top, Tim.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it? We'll
To
find
say
out.
stink turd is over the top.
We'll find out. Should I tell people how long it was?
Yeah. You do you. Whatever.
Sandlot actually came out in 1993. That's the film that I'll be reviewing. This is at the tail end of like a 50s, 60s nostalgia wave that was petering out about that time. In that wave was...
What is?
50s and 60s nostalgia. There was a lot of it
okay.
in like the 80s, end of the 70s through the early 90s. There was a big nostalgia wave, and it was a lot of like late 50s and early 60s stuff.
You mean like Stand By Me and stuff like that?
Stand By Me is one of them.
All right.
Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Grease, American Graffiti, Sha-Na-Na, and on the radio was Wolfman Jack. All that stuff was going on. Stephen King's It was written with children from the 60s, which is interesting because when they remade it recently, they made the children at the age of the 80s. And one of the things I always noticed is the nostalgia wave that was kind of dying out, the 50s and 60s, that got replaced with the 80s. And we've been in this 80s nostalgia wave for like 20, 30 years
like
now.
Stranger Things in the 80s?
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. It's been strong with pop culture for a very long time. It really, some of this stuff, it's almost a 40-year wave of 80s stuff.
And we got
it's crazy.
And we got to live in that era.
Honestly, it's like they're still waiting for a better generation. And they just aren't coming out.
Gen X, baby.
That's right. Now, what punctuates this?
What a word. We have not used that in 8 seasons prior to this. We have not used the word punctuate. Good job, Tim.
Thank you.
I'm going to find a new word for the BA next season that we've never used.
Okay. Probably great review, Jeff, if that was one word. What punctuates this is when they made the new It films, they went to the 80s, but then the adults, they should have been older than what they showed with the amount of time that passed. So it was like this weird push to make it work. Now, also, there's a lot of movies, and this is where I'm going to say Stand By Me again, a lot of movies that were kids left alone. And those movies need to be set in the past because nowadays, kids are never alone. Like, I was behind the school bus earlier this year, and they have to wait for the parents to wave these little critters in.
We didn't have that.
No. In fact, one time I forgot my keys and I had to take a leak on the pine tree in front of our house. I mean, we're latchkey kids.
I was down the road.
If it was cold, it was like go over to a neighbor's house and stay warm. That was how it was, right?
Tim, my corner of my lot, it wasn't like in front of my house. I had to go to a corner, which was at least 500-600 yards away.
Right. So
I mean, shoot.
This movie has the whole 50s, 60s thing going, and it has the kids left alone genre. And that's stuff like Little Rascals, The Goonies, some of Stephen King's best film adaptions. But the best of all of his adaptions, Stand By Me, was one of these kids alone, and it was 60s. So this movie is just resonating Stand By Me. Here's the problem. That was a good movie.
Wow.
Well, the whole thing with the junkyard dog, also from Stand By Me. It's like, oh, we're just stealing lots of stuff. Having said this, you would think this movie be right down my alley. So why did I dislike it so much? Well, first of all,
because I assigned it?
No, we'll get into that, but I still don't like sports movies. First of all, this narration is so overboard. I think they say the phrase, getting us into the greatest pickle we ever were in.
Yes, that was
about
annoying.
58 times in the movie. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're foreshadowing. It's like, and when you find out what the pickle was, me? I'm like, hell with it, whatever. And then at one point, he says, we did the dumbest thing we did in our entire lives. Well, the dumbest thing you did was not eating some chaw and tossing your cookies on a carnival ride. The dumbest thing this group did was chase a junkyard dog through town and destroy it in the process, grab a souvenir collector's ball and decide to play ball with it, pretending to drown in a pool, destroying 3 vacuum cleaners in a lame-brain baseball recovery scheme, and of course, the dumbest thing ever, when the kids went on to become a mini mall builder. All these things dumber than the chaw thing.
Okay.
I almost said instead of becoming a mini mall builder, I almost said become a baseball announcer, but you noticed I swerved out of that.
Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome. It's all part of the kindness that I like to show you. Anyway, the acting was seldom not in the overacting camp. This kid Squibs, okay? He's
Squints?
the nerdy...
Squints.
Is it Squints?
It's Squints because he has glasses. He's squinting. Yep, Squints.
Okay, so Squints there, he's constantly looking into the camera when he shouldn't. In some cases, he looks at the camera and he says, oh my God, the comedian is a bear. You know, it's like over-the-top puppet acting instead of human being acting.
He's a kid.
Okay, but the director, you need to look through the lens, you fop-faced tongue sniffer.
Stop.
You are supposed to be control, you knob-sucking poo-poo cranker.
Tim?
This director is so in love with himself, he made himself the narrator. That was one of the worst hires ever, right? Good thing, because he really didn't have much of a career outside of this. He kicked off with the far superior film Radio Flyer, but that movie was saved by Richard Donner, and don't worry, that movie made almost no money. Everything this director pukes out is nostalgic baseball stuff. You may not go to the bathroom. Here's a news alert. Baseball has been replaced by basketball, everybody. Everyone knows it. The only true sport really is all-star wrestling. You may speak.
So, you know how you fix this whole thing with the kids? You just do
Get real actors?
You do the movie with midgets.
You know what?
You do a movie with adult midgets.
Here's the thing. I know you're joking about that.
No.
I honestly think you might be onto something because this movie is so freaking bad.
You get Dingleberg out there and he's
I honestly think any change they make could possibly improve it. Give it a shot.
You had like Wendy in there. Wendy's Pufflepuff.
Oh, yeah. Hufflepuff there?
Yes.
Anyway, I mean, how creepy was that?
It was.
It's creepy.
It was.
But at least that was an attempt at humor.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Dennis Leary, Karen Allen are in this movie as the parents. They actually do well at their roles.
Yes.
They're good, and then they barely use them.
Right.
Okay. Part of the problem, too, is they put 9 kids in this gang. Now, I understand baseball, you need 9 people. I understand that. But then the characters are mostly unmemorable. You think about it. You remember that red-haired kid?
Yep.
Right?
Play ball!
He's about the only one you remember. Can you tell me his name or his character name? Don't go in IMDb.
It's Ham.
Ham?
Yeah.
Like a hamster?
No, like a ham, like a chunk of ham because of he's a big kid.
All right.
I can tell you their names.
So you get that. And then you have Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
He is a star.
You got Schmalls.
Yep. Killing me, Smalls.
You're right. And then you got the dweeb character Squibs. Then you have whatever. Then you have 2 brothers that basically share an identity.
You're right.
All they do is say what the other one says. Why? Because they couldn't think of a personality. They're like, this'll take 2 spots. This'll be the only joke with these 2 kids. We'll keep going back to it over and over and over again, but they're going to share an identity. Then you have, that was considered character development in this movie.
What about Yaya?
Then I was just going to get to Yaya. Right. His main character thing is he's a kid in a jean jacket with the sleeves cut off. He has no actual character.
He's like the Fonz.
Which is what's funny about this is at the end they say, here's what the kids are doing now. And you're like, well, where the hell did that come from? Right? Oh, one of the kids is definitely, his name should be the black kid. That's what his character is. He's the pitcher of the thing, and all he is dark skinned. They don't give him any character whatsoever. And then they have, what was the other one? Oh, then we got one kid that's only known because, and I encourage you to go back and watch this line reading. He says, oh crap, I forgot. I got some chew. Watch that one. Watch that scene over. It is so bad. This kid, he acted so poorly, they should have put him in jail. I'm telling you. And the director that allowed this stuff, that indecent orgy ruiner of a director, that guy should be put in jail for allowing this child in front of a lens. That sissified snake-skinned slag should be put in permanent director jail.
Wow.
Now, were you aware?
Yes.
Were you aware?
I don't know.
I haven't asked the question.
I know.
Were you aware that some shots of the Beast were actually a puppet?
Yes. You could. How could it not
It
be?
was so obvious.
How could it not be, Tim?
Yeah, if you didn't know that, we have medical personnel standing by because you are obviously brain dead.
Tim, come
It
on,
was
man.
so bad.
I know
Now,
what you
okay,
mean.
let's talk about this because we didn't get a chance to really talk about could Rocky take Cujo last week. But do you think
why
the
would we
Beast
say that? The Beast? Could the Beast take
could
Cujo?
the Beast take Cujo?
Now, the Beast as the Beast, or the Beast as this like the person in it? Like the Beast in general? No, Cujo would beat the Beast. 100%.
I think so, too.
100%.
I think so too. I think, well, and I don't think Cujo fights fair, where Beast, I think, is basically playing with these kids because he's aware that these kids that he's playing with are not the brightest bulbs in the batch.
No.
They are really dumb. Why does it take them so long to come up with, why don't we just run really fast?
To be honest with you, that frustrated me about the movie too. I'm like, this is
Well,
ridiculous.
and I'll get into that in a second. Okay, now, Art LaFleur is the guy that plays Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
Remember earlier you were asking me about Trancers? That guy is in that movie, so I gave it to you so you can watch him. I think he's really good. He is a classic character actor. You always ask me
talked about that. We know what that is.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I got to say, this movie, and I double-checked, it's supposed to be set in 1962.
Correct. Correct.
I have a problem that all these kids are still nuts over Babe Ruth. Okay?
I agree with you.
Because I would think they'd be into Mickey Mantle and someone a little more...
You know what? And Hank Aaron
contemporary.
And that, yes.
And,
absolutely.
Well, Hank Aaron, they made one joke about Hank Aaron.
About the baseball card. But
Ruth
Hank Aaron was 1955, 57, 58, 59. That's who they should be.
Now,
Mickey Mantle,
right.
They should be. Yep.
Now, I get that Ruth is going to be the hero for his father. I get that.
Sure, absolutely.
I get that completely.
You're doing 30 more
years.
That
everybody's like, the great Bambino is the greatest baseball player. No, there's probably the debate of was Babe Ruth the best or Mickey Mantle or who's the guy that was nailing Marilyn Monroe?
Oh my God, Joe DiMaggio.
But
you have DiMaggio,
all those
you
guys.
have Mantle, you have Aaron. Now for the black guy, it could be Jackie Robinson because he broke the color barrier.
Right.
There's so many more that they could have done instead of Babe Ruth.
Now,
absolutely.
I understand for the story you need Babe Ruth to be important, but the kids
for the ball,
the kids can understand Babe Ruth is important.
Ted Williams,
without saying he's the greatest.
Yep.
That is not what children in '62 are saying.
No, they're not.
They're not.
Tim, you're absolutely right. I'm surprised that you got that.
100% on with this. And I'll one more thing.
Yeah,
before
go ahead,
I start just finishing this up.
Go ahead.
They take no scores during their game.
You know,
what are they playing? Soccer?
You know that frustrates me. You know that.
Yeah. I don't get it. Now,
let's just say Pittsburgh.
Okay. Overall, the movie doesn't get to the Beast really about until an hour in. In fact, it's very much like Pinhead that the Beast comes in.
Yeah.
It's like late in the movie. Frankly, I think the introduction of the Beast, had they cut out everything with the Beast, I think you got a better movie. I just do. Because most of the film is semi-realistic. I mean, the thing about pretending to be drowning and all that. Okay, but it's kind of got that nostalgic, semi-realistic, fun thing. As soon as the Beast comes on, it's a Warner Brothers cartoon.
Yes.
And like the whole scene with James Earl Jones.
Jimmy Jones.
Whatever. The James Earl Jones scene is undercut completely because the half hour that precedes it is him running around town with this dog and trying to avoid the dog eating them, apparently. Because so many children are afraid of being eaten by dogs. So I would have loved to have given this movie a better grade. But I suspect this movie kind of hit me like Monster Squad hit you.
Yeah.
This is not my childhood. I didn't discover this film as a child, so it left me cold. While you were getting excited about baseball, I was getting excited about Universal monster movies.
Okay.
So I'm giving it a better than average score, but I can't really go much beyond that. But first, I have to do a Pauly Shore connection.
Do you think that if
how close do you think they got this?
2?
You think I got it within
Yeah, because
2?
your MO is
closer, or less close than the last one I did.
The last one was 2, right?
Yeah. So you're saying the same amount, right?
I'm gonna say the same. Same because that's your MO.
Okay.
Dude, need fundage, bro.
This, by the way, took a monumental amount of work because
One.
Work.
Are you kidding
me? One. Art
They're the same one. They're the same movie.
Art LaFleur
Yes.
and Pauly Shore
Yes.
were in the Army now.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I thought this was a great way to end the season.
Tim, that's
we
fantastic.
got it within one. So.
Tim, that's fantastic. The same movie. That is fantastic.
Now, I'll tell
can't
you,
compare that.
This was really hard because I'll do the horror movie connection quickly because most of these are little frickin' kids and they didn't do a whole lot after that. Tom Geary, who was Schmalz, he only was in one horror movie called Prisoner, so he's at a 2% on his number.
Just like the milk.
You know, it looks like a good movie, but not much that is known. Now, Mike Vitar, that's Benny and the Jet or whatever. He is one complete loser. Nothing for him. Then we have our friend Art LaFleur, right? Who is Babe Ruth in this movie. Guess what?
Huh.
He's a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Get out of here.
2 times.
Like with what?
He was in the movie The Replacements.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He was in The Blob. He was the pharmacist.
That was this year.
Remember that joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember the joke
about
about
the condom?
the parent? Yes. That's him.
Wow.
He, of course, is also in the Trancers movie that I, just introduced you to. But it's a great... It's more of a sci-fi movie than truly horror.
I might like that.
But it's directed by Charles Band, who is the guy that was out at
Charlie
Horror
C.
World. Yeah.
Charlie B.
Right. Well,
CB.
sometimes people call him Charlie C because they thought, I don't like the initial B. I'm going to go with C.
Well, sometimes. Because,
right, exactly.
Think about it just a little bit.
But he's also done a lot of TV horror stuff like Night Stalker,
CB.
Tales from the Crypt. Now, then you also have Patrick Reno. That's the red-haired kid.
Yeah.
He actually is at 16% his horror movies. He was in the movie Sometimes They Come Back Again, which I believe was a Stephen King thing. And I watched this movie recently. I do not recommend it to anyone. Lava Chula, which is about giant spiders that spit out lava.
Look at that. I can pull it out. Look at that.
Next, you got Dennis Leary.
I like Dennis Leary.
He's got one horror movie to his name, and that's called Freaks of Nature.
And he's also a Hall of Famer.
Which one?
For the one with the football movie with Kevin Costner, and it's the one with Draft Day. Draft Day.
He was in Draft Day?
Yeah, he was the coach. Draft Day.
Well,
so put up there.
I'm putting it up there,
you go, baby.
And I'll give you a bonus point for that.
Oh yeah, baby! I'm still not gonna win, but that's all right.
That's why I'm giving you a bonus point.
Yeah, okay.
And then we got Karen Allen.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
I like Karen Allen. I do.
Yeah, and
Raiders
she was in the. She had a main role in 50 States of Fright, which is a TV show that was made for Quibi, which is a streaming service that has gone, and all those have gone on Roku. One of my favorite recent TV horror movie anthologies is a stupid 50 States of Fright.
Really?
And there's one episode that's about a woman that is climbing this ladder inside of, one of those giant windmills that they use. It is the scariest goddamn thing I've seen in a long time. It's really well done because if you've ever seen the inside of those things, they're terrifying. It's just straight up a ladder for hundreds of feet. They're absolutely terrifying. And this movie plays on that fear big time.
When they say 50 States of Fright, do they do one in Wisconsin?
I can't remember if they did one in Wisconsin,
That'd be
but
awesome
each
if they
one
did.
is set in a different state. I don't think they got to Wisconsin.
Like milking a cow or something.
No, it would have been the Haunchies. Come on.
That's right.
It would have been the Haunchies. All right. And the last, of course, that
Jimmy
I'm going to
Jones.
use is he's not Jimmy Jones.
If I meet him, I'll call him that. Say JJ.
Well,
I'll say JJ. What's up?
What are you going to do? Yell through the dirt? James Earl Jones has a
dead?
Yes.
I did not
and
know that.
he actually left his voice. He's Darth Vader's voice.
Really?
Yes. He actually left to his heirs the rights to his voice so that Star Wars could recreate his voice for future Darth Vader stuff.
He's not dead.
Yes, he is.
He's 93 years old. He's not dead.
No, he's dead.
He's not.
He's dead.
According to this, he's not. He's still alive.
No.
James Earl Jones. It does not say former actor. He's still alive.
No, he's dead.
Do you want to bet this whole season on it?
No.
Do you want to bet the whole season on this?
No, because you'll find your phone to find something.
No. It's right here. He's not dead.
It's the internet. I'm not trusting it. Hi, chat room. Go ahead. Anyway, James Earl Jones, he had a significant role in The Exorcist 2. He's done a lot of voice work in horror films. But most of it I was not too familiar with. So that's James Earl Jones. Are you ready
James Earl
for the score?
Yes.
Are you ready for the score?
Yes.
Okay.
He's alive. Go ahead.
I don't think so.
You're going to give it a 5.
No.
6?
I'm going all the way up to 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm giving it the high score.
And when we know that James Earl Jones is alive, I will be taking the loving cup home with me. I'll be drinking out of it tonight.
Whatever.
He's alive. He's alive.
No.
Why do you want him dead so bad?
I don't want him dead. I actually like him quite a bit. You obviously have a problem.
He's going to be in horror realm next year.
Because he's in a better baseball movie
No,
than
it's an awful movie.
that you have not given me. And I'm like, why does he?
I will never give you that movie because I do not want to watch that. That movie is terrible.
So funny. All right. Well, that's the Sandlot. It is time to get into
give it a
trivia.
score already?
Yeah, a 6.
Still
Remember
alive.
when we argued?
Still alive. JEJ is still alive. Thank you, Trogstore.
Wow.
Darth Vader is dead, though.
But he did will his voice to his heirs and Disney.
I won the season, folks. I won the season. Thank you. I am the winner of the season.
Okay, that's what it means to you? Okay.
No, that's
You can have it.
No.
No, that's fine.
No, I don't want it.
That's fine.
I don't want
I'll give it to you.
No, I don't want it.
No, that's all right.
No, I don't want it.
I mean, if you want to cheat and get it, that's fine.
Cheat?
I'll give it to
How
you.
would I cheat?
I'll give it to you.
I'm
not that way. Jeff, I'm not that way.
He emailed me last week.
He emailed you last week.
Jimmy Jones. Jimmy
you know
J.
when you see Jimmy Jones, you know who people are actually thinking of?
Jimmy John Subs?
No.
The guy who did the Kool-Aid?
James Jones.
Yeah.
They're thinking about the guy with the Kool-Aid.
So I can't say that anymore,
Do you want to say that?
No. What
I
did I
didn't
call him?
think so.
What did I call him?
Who's going first in trivia?
JEJ.
Who's going first in trivia? Let's go.
I'll tell you what. I'll go first because I want to leave it up to me to get the answer right at the end.
You'll go first. Okay.
I'm gonna ask you the question first.
Do them. Just so everybody that doesn't know, the way that this works, he reads 3 pieces of trivia. 1 is not true, and I have to guess which one it is.
Okay, so this week, I took a different theme to it. All right, I added a little different theme to it. I did a little twist.
We're running late. Let's go.
Okay, so the twist is actors that got in trouble with the law.
Okay.
All right. Tom Geary, who played Smalls, was arrested in Texas once for headbutting a police officer.
Okay.
Mary Shelton, who is Ron Shelton's niece, who played Wendy Pepperthorne, was arrested for a DUI in 2010.
Okay.
And, I don't know, Vitar, the guy who plays Benny, was charged with a felony assault and suspended with 6 months from the fire department during a trick-or-treat incident. So let me just recap these, and I can say them a little bit clearer. Smalls was arrested in Texas once for headbutting a police officer. Marley Shelton, who is Ron Shelton's niece, was arrested for a DUI in 2010. And the guy who played Benny was charged with a felony assault and suspended from the fire department during a trick-or-treat incident.
One thing, who's Ron Shelton?
The guy who wrote Bull Durham.
Oh, that creep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
No, he's all right.
He's a sports guy, man.
That's
Come on.
all he does.
Why do you think his daughter? Why do you think his niece was in this?
Ding, ding, or one note. Here's what I'm gonna say. That third one that you said,
Yeah, the fire
Benny
department.
and the Jet.
Yeah.
You have a lot more detail on that one than the other two.
Yeah, I do.
Now you might be using that to try to throw me.
I could be.
But the trick or treat thing is just too tasty. If I don't choose it and it's a lie, I'll be embarrassed. I wouldn't be embarrassed with the others. So I'm going to say the lie is the trick or treat incident.
It is not. You're incorrect.
Oh.
The one that was the false one is that Marley Shelton is not Ron Shelton's niece.
Who?
Marley Shelton, the one who played Wendy Peppercorn, is not Ron Shelton's niece. That's what I said.
Okay, but did she get in that trouble?
She did, but the part of it was I said it was his niece.
Okay. All right.
You would have to say to me, Jeff.
That's accurate.
Yeah, I think she got in trouble, but she's not his niece.
Okay.
Okay, don't
I'm fine with
don't
it.
diss me
no,
on this.
I'm
good.
fine with it.
Bring it on. Bring it,
It's
Hellraiser.
time for Hellraiser trivia. Are you
Let's
ready?
do it. I'm ready. I'm born
Okay,
ready.
Let's get this
I'm
chat room out of the way.
I feel
Jeff.
kind of feel like you're not happy right now.
I don't like getting it wrong, but I got it wrong, so that's
what she
fair.
said.
That's fair. All right. So Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
Three items about three of the people that were in the movie.
Okay.
British actor Doug Bradley. He's the one that portrayed Pinhead. He now resides in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
That's your question.
Second, that's one statement. We have three
crazy.
statements.
That's craziness.
Number two, actor Andrew Robinson, Larry, that was the dad character.
Yeah.
Not the crazy killing brother. This is
Not Frank.
portrayed the Scorpio killer in Dirty Harry.
Oh my God.
And the third, the picture of Ashley Lawrence on Wikipedia is actually a fan pic that I took at a Days of the Dead convention that I submitted. And they accepted it, and that's what it is in Wikipedia.
Oh my God. So here's the way.
One of those three is true.
Here's the way.
Or no, one of those three is false. I'm sorry.
Here's the way that this thing rolls out. All right?
Okay.
Tim.
Yeah,
I'm
awesome.
I think if it was me, I would throw something into trivia that would say, "Look at this. This is what I did." So I'm gonna say that one's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The one about the Dirty Harry. So here's the thing about that. It could be a timepiece where that could be like around the time. I mean, Dirty Harry was probably like later 70s.
1 hour show.
And he played what? He played what? The Dragon Master? What did he play?
The Scorpio killer.
Same thing. All right. So I could see that though. And then the whole thing about Pittsburgh, it's just such a you know what? I didn't have enough time to write out a trivia question, so I'm gonna write this out. So, but how do we know that he doesn't live there now? He could be squatting there now. So let me just think about this. Give me a second. I know that the third one is gonna be true because why else would you say that?
Right.
Okay. So then it just comes down to there too. So
Right.
is it gonna be very simple? Like he doesn't live in Pittsburgh. He lives in Philly. And is the other one gonna be like?
Wow.
He doesn't live. He doesn't.
Wow.
He wasn't a Scorpion King, but he was.
You are overthinking it. This is how I win every time. Thank you, Jeff, for overthinking this.
It's gonna be the picture. I know that picture is not bullshit. Or oops. I know that's not because if it was me, I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Jeez.
It's a Scorpion King or lives in Pittsburgh. But I could see him. He looks like he's got the hair for that movie. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say.
30 minutes later.
So the answer to this is the one that's false.
The false one.
The false one. And I'm gonna do a reverse monkey claw on you.
Yeah.
You know what, Tim? You know what the false one's gonna be?
What?
The false one is the third one. You did not take that picture. It's not the Wikipedia page. That's
You
the
are
poster.
correct.
That's what I'm talking about, people. That's how you
That's
win
it.
this game. That's how you do it.
All right. Well, congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you, Tim.
You got it.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. I also laid the groundwork
How?
that you shouldn't be taking pictures with her earlier in the show.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought I was going to get you and it'd
Yeah.
be super embarrassing. And you beat me on it.
Oh, look at that score. Oh,
Look
man.
at that score. It was a real tight one. I did give
That's what
him
she
his
said.
bonus point. I did give Jeff his bonus point from earlier.
But I
So-
came back this season. I was in bad shape.
You were in real rough shape because you gave me some of the most horrible films I ever saw in my life. Now,
And surprisingly, you gave me movies that I actually really enjoyed, Tim. Honestly.
all right. I'll tell you my belief, Jeff,
Yeah.
is that you are a closeted horror fan at this point.
Do we have to end the show
I
now?
think this show is getting easier for me as you're getting to enjoy the greatness that is horror films, and it's getting harder for you because I still hate sports films.
But
with
that's
a
not good,
passion.
though, because that means the series is going to come to an end.
Well, it's, a lot of people have been calling for that too. I get
Are you
emails.
serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, good.
All right, yeah, that's good. That's good.
So, Tim,
So, hold on. We have some statistics to go through. Or do we want to do the award ceremony?
I'm
Who's
just going to
win?
hand you over.
Okay. Woo! Ah!
Congratulations, Tim. Hold on to it for a good half a year because I'm
yeah.
going to get it back
All right.
next
It's
year.
going to just stay here.
No.
Let's face it.
No.
So, let's get back to this. We do have some statistics I looked at. And overall, the horror films are much higher, but you're much better at the trivia, Jeff.
Really?
Much better. Yeah, so
'Cause I got-
that's kind of interesting. Also, sports trivia is, of course, done by
Not
a
too-
very famous statistician that we know. Average scores, my horror movies are only about a point more on
Yeah.
average, but that adds up to 9 points a season for sure. On the trivia, you're only a fraction higher than me. So that must be the difference maker. Also, if you take a look, I now have 5 out of 8 seasons. So Jeff has some battling to do. So I'm going to have to give him really, really monstrously difficult to watch horror films. But luckily, I'm up to the task. I just got a new Blu-ray of Exorcist. It's going to be fantastic, everybody. So that's coming up next season. Just a reminder that I won. I'll just keep that up there so you can look at that.
Nice. This is a fun season, Tim. Thank
This
you.
was a very fun season. I enjoyed it a great deal.
I did actually enjoy the movies that you sent me. I mean, we started out with like Frankenhooker and Reanimator, and it just snowballed from there. And it was a fun season for me. So I'm sorry your movies were kind of rough, but it was a fun season for me.
It was a lot of fun, Jeff, and we want to thank all the people
Yep.
that stuck through this season. We're going to have one more next year, and then we're going to be in double-digit seasons
Yep.
because next season is season 9. What we did is we took season 8, and next year what we're going to do is add 1, and that'll make it season 9.
We're gonna have some.
Jeff was having difficulty with this
I was.
concept earlier.
I was.
So I thought I'd
So-
explain it to anybody else out there that was having difficulty.
So it was
figuring
trivia.
that out.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you had 30 points.
I'll-
I had 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I had 32 points. So I beat you in trivia.
Yep.
Because
That happens almost every season, but I just slobber knock you when it comes to the movies.
this year.
Slobber knock you.
This year you did.
This is because Jeff is a better altogether liar. But
Liar?
But yeah, it's true. It's okay.
Wow.
It's okay.
No, it's because
I don't have a problem
because you
with
kind.
it.
I think you found the formula for the horror movies. There's a formula, and I think you found it.
I do know that if I'm falling behind, I just get a flamethrower in one, and I'm good to go.
Flamethrower, or
And-
maybe some skin.
And I'll tell you, next season, I am going to check all the running times. All right, everybody. It's time to close the crypt and call the game. Thank you all for watching, and remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed.
Yep.
You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube, and other fine places where you find good podcasts. Remember, folks, if it's sports, it's a home run. If it's horror, run home. We're dead on the bases, and we'll see you next time.
Otherworldlyculture.com. I will win season9.com.
Wishfulthinking.com.
.net.
Nobody does .net.
.org.
Nobody. No. We are not a .org.
You've got mail.
What is wrong with you?
Remember when you used to get You Got Mail? You get that bloop, like the arrow went up, the flag went up.
Yeah.
Did you have that? Did you have an AOL?
Oh my God, did I?
I didn't.
I actually, that was my first website, was an AOL thing that
Really?
we had. And it was terrible. But yeah, went on to do quite a few things with websites, didn't I?
Yeah, a lot.
All right. For folks that are wondering, next season starts at Labor Day.